Welcome to another edition of This Week in Disc Golf. It is Tuesday, November 15th. I'm Charlie Eisenhood, and let's talk about what happened over the last 2 weeks. I was away on vacation last week, apologize, but back to catch you up on everything that's been going on in the disc golf universe. Well, first and foremost, we had the second and final wraparound silver event of the 2022-2023 season. So we had the Lake Marshall Open a couple weeks ago, and this past weekend we had the New World Championships taking place down in Jacksonville, Florida. And strong MPO field, good FPO field, a little better than what we saw at Lake Marshall, and some high-flying action that was live on the Disc Golf Network. Paul McBeth gets a dominating win, 8-stroke victory over Garrett Gurthie. He was trailing slightly after round one, but got it going in round two, 11 under. Best round of the weekend from anybody, bogey free in round number two. Went on to shoot the hot round again in round three, an 8 under. And he was able to get a very comfortable win. He becomes not only the world champion in 2022, but the new world champion. It's his first ever silver win, if you can believe it. It's true. So McBeth gets the victory and shot 50% from circle 2 on the putting green, 90% circle 1, only 3 OB strokes, all around dominating performance. Shout out to Isaac Robinson and Ezra Robinson for their tied for third podium finish. They shot great all weekend long, but the best player of the last 10 years, Paul McBeth, gets the victory. Over in FPO, Maria Oliva wins her first ever DGPT event of any sort. She gets a 2-shot win over Deanne Carey. Jessica Weiss and Sarah Hokum were tied in third, 1 shot back of Carey. Oliva was driving the disc great, 54% inside circle 2 in regulation, 28% inside circle 1 to lead the way at the tournament, and did enough on the putting green to get the job done. And she becomes yet another player to get her first win at a silver event. And that puts her up near the top of the 2023 standings. She's tied for third with Macy Vela Diaz, who won the Lake Marshall Open. Holly Finley's in second. Sarah Hokum is in first after podiuming at both events. Over in MPO, Luke Sampson will head into the winter with the points lead on the Pro Tour for 2023. He's about 15 points ahead of Ezra Aderhold in second. Kevin Kiefer is in third, and Paul McBeth is in fourth. All of the players I just mentioned are eligible for a 2023 Tour card. That's because they finished either in the top 80 in the MPO standings or the top 40 in the FPO standings. A Tour card for next year gives players early registration opportunities and guaranteed entry into all of the Disc Golf Pro Tour Elite Series events, as well as tournament amenities on site like locker rooms and warm-up areas, massage, tent, things like that, as well as other benefits like media opportunities with the Disc Golf Pro Tour. And there's going to be big changes coming to the Tour card. So while it's been historically just offered to the top finishers at the end of the regular season standings, there's going to be a lot more ways to qualify for a 2024 Tour card starting next year. So let's talk about it. So you'll still be able to finish in the top 80 or top 40 in the Pro Tour standings next year to earn a Tour card, but you can also finish in the top 10 for MPO, top 5 for FPO at a Pro Major. Or you can finish in the top 5 and top 3 at a DGPT Elite event or win a silver event. Additionally, if you qualify for the Tour Championship, you'll automatically get a 2-year Tour card exemption. So players this year who qualified, like the winners, Ricky Wysocki and Kristen Tatar, they get a Tour card in 2023 and 2024. So you get a little bit of a bonus for making it to the Tour Championship. New in 2023 as well, this is pretty exciting, there's going to be a qualifying series now. So this will give players kind of like a farm system opportunity to get to the quote-unquote big leagues, that is the Disc Golf Pro Tour. There's going to be a series of A and possibly B tier tournaments, probably 8 of them. They have not been announced yet. But you can play in those events and earn points at each of those events. The top 6 finishers in MPO and top 3 finishers in FPO will have an opportunity to then get a Tour card for the following season. So additionally, players who win any of those events will get sort of a mini tour card, 6-event tour card, so they can play select events the next season, creating some more pathways for players who are not already on tour to find their way and onto tour, get a tour card. This is starting to look a little bit more formalized, like we see with the PGA Tour and the way that you earn a card on the PGA Tour. Well, I mentioned here a couple of weeks ago that you could vote for the second and third card All-Stars, as well as the most improved players. And now we have all of the 2022 Disc Golf Pro Tour awards. Congratulations first goes to Kristin Tattar and Ricky Wysocki for winning the Elaine King and Ken Climo Player of the Year awards, respectively. Kristin Tattar was a unanimous selection by the media voters and also finished first at the Tour Championship and first in the Pro Tour standings. Ricky Wysocki won the Tour Championship, finished atop the standings at the end of the season as well, and was the top player in the media ballots, although he was not a unanimous selection like Kristin. In the most improved category, congratulations to Gannon Buhr and Valerie Mondahano. Both players really leveling up in 2022, getting their first Elite Series wins. Valerie won a couple of tournaments, and Gannon, of course, winning US DGC at the end of the year. Buhr finished 21st in Pro Tour points back in 2021 and finished all the way up in 4th this year. He was a first-team All-Star this year. And Valerie Mondahano finished 17th last year and moved way up to number 5 in FPO this year. So big improvements for two very obviously deserving most improved candidates. The rookies of the year this year are Emily Beach and Isaac Robinson. There are certain criteria, number of events you played in the past that qualify you as a rookie. Both of them finished well ahead of the next eligible player. Robinson was 14th in the Pro Tour standings. Nicholas Antila was the next eligible player, sitting down at 25th place. Emily Beach also beat out a European challenger. She finished 14th in the final standings, and Estonia's Katie Tate finished in 27th. So that brings us to our first, second, and third card All-Stars. These are the players that are going to have the opportunity to compete at the All-Star weekend before the Las Vegas Challenge at the beginning of the 2023 season. First card All-Stars, we already knew those. Ricky Wysocki, Paul Macbeth, Calvin Heimberg, Gannon Buhr. Over in FPO, it was Kristin Tattar, Paige Pierce, Katrina Allen, and Owen Scoggins. Those are your top 4 finishers in the points standings at the end of the year. Now, the second and third cards were not decided by purely tour points. Instead, there were 4 criteria, each weighted equally. First, a fan vote, a media vote, tour point standings, and then the average finish at majors and the Tour Championship. So here are your second and third card All-Stars. On the second card in MPO, Chris Dickerson, Matt Oram, Isaac Robinson, and Simon Lizotte get the nod. In FPO, Valerie Mondahano, Missy Gannon, Evelina Salonen, and Kat Murch earned those honors. On the third card, Kyle Klein, Joel Freeman, James Conrad, and Kevin Jones earned their spots on the third card, and Henna Blomroos, Holland Handley, Sarah Hokum, and Ella Hansen get the nod in FPO. Congratulations to all 24 players on their selections as All-Stars, and we'll certainly look forward to seeing them in Arizona competing in the winter sunshine at the beginning of next year. That brings us to our social media minute. Huge congratulations go out to Jeremy Colling and Jules, who are finally married. Got married over the weekend in a beautiful ceremony. Lots of disc golfers there, of course. And so great to see Big Germ just glowing with happiness. Looked like an awesome time. And big congrats to the newlyweds. Hopefully they get a great honeymoon coming up here over the off-season. In off-season sponsorship news, currently suspended from the PDGA player Nicola Castro has signed a new deal with Lone Star Discs out of Texas. So he's going to be throwing a Lone Star exclusive bag next year, according to Josh Hofstra, the marketing director of Lone Star Discs. And it's a multi-year deal. Doesn't have an end date on it. They're going to be also producing some discs for Nico himself. and offering opportunities for Nico to market his brand and get distribution through them. So this is one of a number of moves expected from Lone Star in the next few weeks. And it's certainly an interesting one, given that Nico is still dealing with the fallout from his blow up at a tournament official at the European Open. He was dropped by his disc sponsors, including Clash Discs, as he was dealing with that. And so now is getting picked up by Lone Star in advance of his return for the start of the 2023 season. And finally this week, your Statmando stat of the week. 100 days until the Las Vegas Challenge. So the countdown begins right now, and they've got some notable 100s for you. Kristen Tatar's 2022 podium percentage? Yeah, we know, 100%. She never missed the podium. Matt Orum's combined score in 2022 majors was minus 100. And Drew Gibson and Garrett Gurthie will have reached 100 career Elite Series starts at the 2023 LVC. So great stuff from Statmando as always. Give him a follow over on Twitter, twitter.com/Statmando. That's going to do it for this week in disc golf. Looking forward to getting into the hot stove conversation in this offseason as we start to find out where players are headed soon